KFAN starts at KFAN.com/watch. You can watch the Power Trip Morning Show, Program Password, exclusive interviews, and more. You get closer to the shows and personalities you love. It's all powered by Quantum Fiber Internet. KFAN.com/watch.
At the number 3, Ron Johnson. 3, Ron Johnson via X and Instagram and TikTok. He's in studio with me. My fan line companion for the greatest game. This is your favorite game. You love the third preseason game.
This is the one.
Because you appreciate jobs on the line, auditions for 31 other teams, friends and family night, the third preseason game. You know what we should do?
An hour of Max Brosmer questions.
A lot of Max Brosmer questions.
The best night of the year.
You know, Abbott decided that because it's an 8 p.m. kick that we probably should. Do you want to just do fan line? I mean, I'll see you here around 11:30.
We could just go on Instagram Live and just see who wants to join our Instagram
from
Live.
Our respective basements.
From our basements.
And just break down exactly
what we saw, have fans jump in our live if they want. I think that probably would do six people probably would join that one.
Do you think that O'Connell could make a 53-man without Friday's game?
Yes.
Just as of right now, if he was back to the wall, I don't know what scenario would put him in that spot, but you get what I mean.
49, yes. I say 49 players he knows. The other 4 are probably bubble special teams guys that the special teams coach is going to get to stand on the table and beat his chest for, because when you're looking at the 5th, 6th receiver, you're looking at the 7th, 8th DB.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff. That's when it comes down to Flores saying, okay, I like both these guys. Which one are you going to use on special teams? Same with, Keenan McCardell. He'll say, I like these two. Which one would you rather have for special teams? Same with the running backs. I mean, we might end up with 3, 4 running backs. It's hey, here's the running backs I like. Is one of these guys your kick returner? Yep, he is. So now I get a 4th running back. Xavier Scott, because we keep, we forget Xavier Scott was on the team last year. So just because they got the new young rookie in doesn't mean they can't keep a 4th running back and just have them inactive for most games. But, it comes down to special teams. So I'd say, 48, 49 are probably good to go.
Yeah, it does. I'm glad you mentioned the running backs, because that's one of the spots where, and Xavier Scott, maybe work that he can do on special teams, he might indeed be one of those names. Brett was asking me last hour, Jayshon Jones gets suspended. I never thought that he was going to be part of the final 53, but you start doing those numbers, Ron, and it's, I still like 5 receivers. I like the big 3 that we know, and then I like Ty and Miles. And I think that rounds it out. But that plays into Xavier Scott probably not going to see the field, a lot at least. The rookie might be able to return kicks and then continue to evolve as a running back.
Correct.
But Xavier might be elite on special teams.
Yeah, because, you got to think about the way the new kickoff rules are. You need a little bit more of a faster guy. There's no more wedge busters, so that linebacker spot you used to save for that could go to a running back who's, bigger, stronger, can, a solid open field tackler. Same with the vice versa side of that, the blocking side of the kickoff with the new zone rules and how they line up in different pods. You need a guy that is good at, staying on a block, stronger, faster. So you could see a 4th running back just being a true special teams demon. I mean, look at the Patriots. Matthew Slater, one of the longest tenured guys, and I think 1 or 2 career catches. He just was a special teams guy. He was a great locker room guy. But, don't overlook being a millionaire and running down on kickoff, blocking punts, blocking for punt, protection. Xavier Scott could be that guy.
Yeah, I'm looking at Matthew Slater. You did, let me see here. He had 2 rushing attempts in his career. He did indeed have 1 career reception.
Yeah, I remember he was the Tony Dungy award winner for the Uncommon Award, and I was on the stage for that one, and I remember that coming up. I remember them talking about
1 career reception in 16 years.
Yeah, 16 years, 1 catch, and
it went for 46 yards though.
Hey, but it's more about the sustainability of
probably
your character.
A fake punt or something.
Huh?
It was probably a fake punt or something.
We have to look back at that one. I don't know. But no, they were just talking about character. And I think that's the part of it. The Jayshon Jones, you brought it up. Character matters, right? Because people keep talking about, what's his name? Laquan Treadwell. He's still with the Colts. And people made jokes about I bet he's a great locker room guy. Why is that a bad thing? If you're a great athlete, but you're also a good locker room guy, like that matters. Like guys that you gravitate to want to hang out with you. You don't create problems. You're not in the paper at midnight or 2 a.m. saying you're suspended.
Right.
Like, yeah, coaches think about that stuff. That's the nightmare of a coach waking up at 6 a.m., 5:30 a.m., going to practice. And then, you see on the ticker, so-and-so was arrested at 3 a.m.
Yeah, it's not
doing
good.
107 miles an hour. Or so-and-so was just arrested because he just blew a 1 point whatever. Like that's the stuff as a coach. You're just like, come on, man. Like you got too much money. Get a car service, do something. And so Matthew Slater was a great character guy, which is why he made it so long.
Well, and you bring up Laquan Treadwell, and there were a couple of talkbacks on it and just discussing it during Vikes Bites earlier. The vitriol around a Laquan Treadwell. Yeah. I mean, he was the butt of jokes at one point. He is a stand-up guy who's carved out a double-digit year career in the NFL, but the frustration here locally will always be, well, he was selected in the first round, not to be a special teams guy.
Correct.
Not to be a run-blocking receiver. He was supposed to catch passes and score touchdowns, and it didn't work. And that kind of bleeds into last segment talking about Caleb Banks, first-round pick. People kind of frustrated over the course of the week after his comments, I'm out of shape, so I got to do some gassers after practice. People are kind of worried about that, and I got to talk back about first-round picks not working out. Can we start drafting people that play football? Totally with you, talkbacker guy. But with Caleb Banks kind of transitioning, it's still so early. Yeah. But people genuinely do have some concern when they hear about the breaks and recovery regardless. What do you mean you're out of shape? Yeah. Did you not know what the season was coming? Did you not know that? So a lot of people aren't necessarily appreciating his honesty.
Well, I mean, it's showing that what truly held him back was like the inability to probably run and do as much as he wanted to do, because he was on like hey, this is, let's go 60% or let's go 70%. We hear that all the time. PJ Fleck talks about the 78%. Sometimes if you can't go 100% because of injury, you are not in football shape. I mean, everybody talks about the guys that don't go to training camp and then they show up, Harrison Smith, feel free. And when they show up week 1 or 2 or 3, right, they're not in true football shape yet. They have to work themselves back into it. Guys that come off injury, whether it's a hamstring or a knee or they're on limited play, they come back, same thing. They're not really in football shape. It takes them 4 to 5 weeks to kind of get there. And so for Caleb Banks to say that, maybe a little too honest, but I think he's just saying, like, look, this offseason, I wasn't 100% healthy. Like I was coming off of an injury. I was rehabbing to get back. I'm back now, but now I got to get in football shape. And that's what, practice is for, training camp is for. I have no doubt in my mind he's a, high caliber athlete. It'll take him probably, like he said, probably 2 weeks, like of just nonstop, like he said, gassers. And I saw Chris Carter just brought that up of, what does it take to be great, right? The running like my dad used to talk about his workout back in the 70s with him and Mel Blount and Donnie Shell. They used to like run 5 miles in the morning. Okay. They would then go run hills. And then they would do ladders and stadium stairs. They would turn back around, do another 2 to 3 miles. Then they would road work, which is just jogging and then push-ups, sit-ups, all kinds of stuff. And then they would just run on the streets. And that was like before noon. And then they would come back in the afternoon and have another lift and some other stuff. And I've seen VHS tapes of this, like for people that don't know, the younger kids listening, that is the device we had to watch videos on. But you have
the tracking function all set.
And there's a video of like my dad and them in the garage, him, Mel Blount, lifting weights, running up and down with the old bike shorts. Remember the really short bike shorts on? Oh, yeah. I don't know how they worked out in those. Those things were so tight and restrictive. like that, it was not like a spandex short now.
I think they're coming back though in a more stretchable form.
I would hope so, because those things look so uncomfortable. They look like corduroys, but just as shorts, but Daisy Dukes. Like they wore Daisy Dukes with Converse, no shirts. But yeah, I mean, just the amount of work they did, and now it's all about personal trainers. It's all about posting my workout on social media. When it gets too hard, guys are complaining to coaches about long, like if you practice for 2.5 hours, kids are like reporting coaches now. Like, oh man, that was too long of a practice, man. Like, coach, we got to do an hour and a half to 2 hours. Like, I'm dead That's what it used to be. It used to be every practice you have to get in the cold tub because you were absolutely dead.
Yeah.
And you had to find a way to get back for that next practice. And it's not like that anymore.
So with Caleb Banks, what do you think about him getting snaps on Friday night? Would you be opposed to that?
No, I would not be opposed to it, especially with the fact that he's saying he has to get back into football shape. He probably needs, if not 2 to 3, maybe 4 series just to see what you have. You know who you're going into with the starters. You know he's going to be a rotational backup in that group. Flores has always said he doesn't want to, guys to have 75 snaps on the D-line. He wants it to be split up so guys are healthy. So when guys are tapping out, it's not because they're tired. It's because, let's get somebody in fresher than me so we can get after this guy because I'm sending 5 to 6 guys, but from different spaces. I mean, you saw Big Orange drop back into coverage. So when you think about the way Caleb Banks needs to get into football shape, I would not be opposed to that.
Yeah, and maybe just physical contact associated with that. I do wonder if there are any confidence issues that exist even around the foot. I mean, just in terms of the hesitance. You hear it from people coming back from knees all the time. Yep. They can cut. Yes, they train on it, and yes, they go full speed, but maybe that's physical versus the brain finally telling them it's okay, this thing's going to hold up. I wonder if there's any of that in the mix.
100%. I just saw a young lady, professional softball player, posted this is the first time she's done step-ups and weighted lunges without pain because she was coming off of a knee injury. And it took her a year she was back playing probably in 9 months, but, she said it was a year before she felt pain-free doing one of these exercises. So guys mentally know doctors are going to clear you. X-rays are going to look fine. They're going to tell you, yup, you've rested X amount of days. Your foot's healed. You're good. It's the mental side of that, though. Like every single movement where it might feel a little tinge, it's not the injury. It's just that scar tissue moving out of there, and you got to play through it. And it's just, can you do that? Can you tell yourself my knee, Hawkinson, like I'm hoping this is the year, right? He's got a full year. Can he come back and look like he did early with the Lions?
Yeah.
Can he trust that brain and that knee to say, you can move, you're fine, let's do this, right? But there's always that catch, turn up field skepticism that Kirby Joseph is somewhere waiting in the back to do something dirty. And you got to get past that, you got to get past that.
You think he has nightmares about Kirby?
About any DB. These DBs now are scared to hit guys in the head because of the flags now, because it's not football. And I'm not saying headhunters. I'm just saying shoulder to the chest, shoulder to the chin. That's football. Helmet to the chest, helmet to the shoulder pad. That's football. But if a helmet hits a shoulder pad and then skids up to the helmet, here comes the yellow tissue because the referee is thinking that was an abusive hit. And everybody's looking for it, right? It's just football. It was built on hard hits. Guys losing, getting the wind knocked out of them, as they would say. That's just what it was. And
players would prefer that.
Correct. But now,
because the knee knocks you out for a year.
Correct. If you hit somebody up high that has already caught the ball, that's already taken 2 steps, they might say, that was a defenseless receiver. But if you go low, that's no longer defenseless because you didn't hit them in the head or shoulder. I'm that's the dumbest thing ever. And so that's what DBs are now taught to do running backs, you can see a guy coming, so they would say, shoot him out. I remember there was a drill with the Gophers. They used to make, freshman running backs run full speed at a defensive back, no blocker in front, and the DB had to just shoot his legs out. And David Gibbs, who was the defensive coordinator, DB coach, he would literally yell at these running backs if they would slow down, if they would try to cut or jump. He wanted it to be an absolute train wreck where these guys are learning how to take Ron Daines or Kajana Carter, take their legs out from under them. Yeah. And, Larry Johnson with Penn State. We had some big backs that they had to go up against. Mike Allstott at Purdue. So David Gibbs was just saying, look, you go up high, you're going to lose.
That sounds painful.
Take his legs out. It is. I forgot the guy's name, Robert something. He tore his knee up because of that. He was huge. He was 6'5", 6'4", 250 pounds.
Well, I think they're trying to avoid that now, Ron.
And they tore his knee up. Yeah, and that's what they're saying. Take the hip, go to the stomach, go to the chest. Just don't hit my knees. And so, but DBs are going low. They're going to take the knees out because they're this is the only way I could probably survive. This is the way you don't see me coming. You can't jump and cut. You can't stiff arm me. But that's the thing where a guy like TJ Hawkinson has to get it out of his mind. A guy like Caleb Banks, when he's up there and he's holding 2 guys up and he has to put that foot in the ground and then set the edge or push through, He's just got to do it, right? If he's supposed to hold two and keep them there, like we saw him shed a block and get a tackle for a loss, he's got to trust that every time, though. And he looks good. So, yeah, I would say give him a couple reps to make sure he's good to go.
The text line, 64686, Bradshaw and Bryant, KFAN text line. A listener has texted in, this has been driving me crazy. Quote, does Ron have an X account?
I just got one.
Okay, what's the handle?
It's the number 3, Ron Johnson.
Okay, perfect.
I just got one.
Back to TJ Hawkinson. Final year of his deal has felt like fool's gold, unfortunately, more so than not during his time as a member of the Minnesota Vikings. Where I keep getting stuck on this, he's by all accounts had a pretty good camp.
Yeah.
And he himself has mentioned too the idea that he's feeling fully healthy and good. Love that. Isn't this just the perfect marriage with him and Kyler, specifically earlier on? We're so obsessed, and probably should be, with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. That's great. And Frank Smith's going to roll in here, and this new look run game. Everything's awesome. Mm-hmm. Kyler could really use an elite nookie blanky tight end. Mm-hmm. And TJ's that guy. He can be that guy. This is a great chance for number 87.
Yeah, him and Josh Oliver. Let's not forget about Josh Oliver. And the reason is, if you think about the Cardinals, and I did a lot of Cardinals film breakdown this past season because most of the teams the Vikings had played the Cardinals, and they utilized the tight end. And so I wanted, when we did the 3-minute drill on Fox for the pregame show, I used a ton of Cardinals footage. One, because of all the shifts in motions. And of course, I love Marvin Harrison Jr. Like, anytime I can show some Marvin Harrison Jr. plays, like, I love the way he plays football. I love the way he attacks it, the high ball. I love the way they utilize him in the slot and the outside. And so when you look at the Cardinals, they always attacked all 4 quadrants of the field, meaning they would have 2 receivers trying to attack the outside quarters. They would have a tight end attack the middle of the field, and they'd have an underneath tight end running back kind of attack the flat or the hook zone. And most of the time, I don't know if it was just because McBride is good or because the defense was confused with all the crossing routes and all the stuff going on, but McBride was open, or they just schemed him in. Like, maybe he was the scheme guy. Maybe it was like, just like Justin Jefferson is a KOC scheme guy. Like, maybe he was the scheme guy because
it wasn't Michael Wilson.
No.
Okay.
He was open a lot.
Yes, he was.
A lot. And so, like, Marvin Harrison Jr., I mean, you heard the
I don't know why I'm picking on Michael Wilson, by the way. He's an NFL wide receiver. He has a right to catch passes.
But you heard the Marvin Harrison Jr. stuff, right?
Yeah,
I need more balls, or, Kyler this, Kyler doesn't like, whatever you. I
That's
just
really
think,
working out for Marvin Jr. right now. Come on.
I just think the way, that team, the way you look at that scheme, right? If the tight end is open, you take the tight end because like Trey McBride, for instance, I don't know what Hawkins is going to do with this, but the tight end can get you more yardage because of, like, I remember they played the Dolphins, and it was like a bluff over route with like a go to the pylon. So it looked like 2 shallows.
Okay.
And you saw the Dolphins literally, I think Mike McDaniels stole it the next week, like 2 weeks later. He did the same exact thing to the Ravens. But it was double shallow, and normally double shallow, one guy's the post guy, one guy goes underneath, and you're supposed to pick, but act like I'm not picking, and, don't do I forgot, was it C.J. Ham or somebody, or no, Dalvin Cook, remember Packers game? Oh. He got called for that, and it wasn't even that.
It wasn't.
But they called him for it because he ran into the guy.
Yeah.
So what you're supposed to do is, like, do the, like, whoa, 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 and then get out the way. Because the DB is taught, hey, if you can't get through, run into him because the ref's going to give you that flag. So get out of his way. So what the Cardinals realizes, well, if that guy is trying to get out of my way, I'm going to act like I'm trying to hit him and then go to the corner, go to the pylon. And, oh, my God, it was open. McBride ran it. I think, what's his name? Tyreek Hill ran it with the Dolphins. It's a great little concept. And then I think the Ravens actually came back and ran it with Mark Andrews. Like, I think everybody, it's kind of a copycat league. One person comes up with it.
Different
let's
variations.
all steal it. Yeah. Because, again, we did a lot of Raven stuff, too, last year. But when you look at that play specifically, right, with TJ Hawkinson, if I am a DB and I see Justin Jefferson run or Jordan Addison running the under route and I see TJ Hawkinson post setting me, I'm going with Justin Jefferson. I'm not thinking about 87.
That's right.
And that's why Trey McBride ended up coming open on a lot of that, because I think it was similar. You got Marvin Harrison Jr. running underneath. It's like, all right, let's keep an eye on 18. Oh, shoot, wait, who has McBride, right? And you see both DBs look at each other like, you idiot, which against the Ravens, I don't know if you saw that 48 and 57, both linebackers, that's how the touchdown was given up.
Yeah.
One of them was supposed to go to the flat, and they didn't. Because if you look at the bottom, Jacob Thomas went to the flat.
Yep.
At the top, they both stood there in the hook.
Uh-oh.
And nobody had the flat. It was a touchdown. That was the only touchdown given up, which didn't give Max Brosmer a chance to be a hero at the end of the game. But but when you look at that type of play, yeah, I think TJ Hawkinson is the easy answer for Murray early. He's a bigger target. So meaning if I'm looking past these 6'4", 6'6" offensive linemen, who can I see? Oh, a 6'5" tight end. And it's close, and it's an easy throw. He has that layer ability to get it up and down, which for people talking about the J.J. McCarthy miss by Miles Price, yeah, that's a layer throw that he just missed.
Yeah.
You got to take a little bit off of it. You got to dump it over the top, put it right to the edge, let him catch it, toe tap, or throw it sidearm like a baseball player. I mean, we've seen Matt Stafford. We've seen Carson Wentz did it.
Could have been a sidearm, could have been a lofted pass towards that front pylon.
He was wide open.
Wide open.
Nobody, they both screwed up on that because it was a choice route.
Yeah.
Miles Price told me, by the way, nobody can guard him on a choice route. Nobody.
And he proved it.
He's proved it
in that moment.
All year. Nobody's been able to guard him on the choice route. Like, he is unguardable when it comes to that. He's like Kyrie Irving when you're on an island. Like, one-on-one with Kyrie Irving, good luck. Nobody can stop Kyrie. But when you look at that, for Kyler Murray, to your point, yes, I think TJ Hawkinson, if you're a fantasy football person, early on, I would maybe take a look at TJ. Because that's going to be his early blanket, like you're saying, the what you say, the binky? Is that what they call it now?
I just think it's a safety blanket, however you want to word it. We rightfully are just mashing on the idea that Justin Jefferson is going to return to prominence. That's how we talk about it.
Yards.
Sure.
He'll have 1,800.
Well, number 87's right there and might be the easiest, best option in a lot of cases as well. Now, a lot of that's on TJ being and making those plays, and he's got to create that rapport with
and
Kyler,
run after the catch. That's the difference, though. Trey McBride, we can't overlook his run after the catch.
Yeah,
that's where TJ last year struggled. But like he said, it takes a full year plus to come back from that knee. And so he's probably feeling good now to be like, because we all look at Adrian Peterson, freak of nature, right? Yeah. That's a freak of nature. Like nobody comes different off of that and goes for 2K, like AP did or AD did. But when you think about TJ, a little bit different, right? A lot more cutting, a lot more running, taller, longer limbs. So just a different frame. AP, like his legs were his quads. I mean, he just was a different human being.
Yes.
Like when you see, even
Not
to this
human.
day, like I don't like shaking his hand now.
No.
Like he's still ridiculously strong. But yeah, I think Hawkinson could easily in the first couple games have 4 catches a game.
And it's contract year. So if anything, you know what? Be self-interested, TJ.
But how old is TJ? I forgot about that. Is he 29?
Oh, he's got to be nearly 30. He is 20. He just turned 29.
Yeah.
A couple months ago.
I was dead on.
So let's have a year, TJ. It's a contract year. Treat yourself and have the best season of your Vikings life in 2026. We'd love it. That's Ron Johnson at 3 Ron Johnson in studio. More Vikings conversation, maybe a couple on the college team as well. It's Nordo in for PA. Brett Blakemore producing. It's The Fan.
You're listening to Eric Nordquist in for...
You want to be at the next big game or concert? We're giving away tickets to Jack White, Journey, and plenty more. Enter today, KFAN.com. Keyword is contest.
Ron Johnson in studio with me, Nordo in for PA on The Fan. It's a pre-State Fair, preseason finale. Vocal maintenance day for the host, and he'll be back in the mix tomorrow when we kick off the State Fair. More on the fair during the final hour, but Ron Johnson here. I was actually just texting with somebody about a Mike Florio, and Brett had brought it up during Vikes Bites. That Florio was kind of floating the idea like, hey, J.J. McCarthy lost the battle for the starting quarterback.
Yep.
And discuss amongst yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, in terms of how much of a competition you thought it was or wasn't. But Kyler's the guy. And then now, what if he loses the backup battle to Wentz, to Carson Wentz? So Florio floated the idea that it's not an impossibility that J.J. McCarthy would just be outright waived, just not a member of the final 53. What do you make of all that? Because I think unless the worm is turned, he's QB3. Now, does being QB3 turn the worm.
Right.
Where it just becomes untenable.
The thing that sucks about intel like that, right? Clearly somebody within the building has either said it to somebody or somebody hinted at it or somebody just made the comment and then somebody's gonna, like Florio's gonna run with it, right? Everybody, because nobody really knows anything unless somebody kind of says something. What I think what happened is there's a potential, maybe another team that maybe the Minnesota Vikings were contacted by, or they contacted just to ask, like, what would you do? Or what would would you be interested in J.J. McCarthy? Could be the Cardinals, could be the Jets. You think about a lot of teams, looking for a potential younger back. Could be the Lions. I don't think they would do that though, because that's within the deal. It could be, what's his guy out there with the Chargers?
Yeah,
that's his guy.
Yeah.
Could have been that, right? So from there, then you build it to say, hey, the Vikings, I can't say, but I think they might be trying to get rid of JJ. And then that's where the steam builds, right? Here's now but also you turn on the tape and you just look at Carson Wentz versus JJ McCarthy. And I posed that question on Twitter, I think last week.
If Kyler was
out,
nicked up,
who would you want to start the next game? And resounding like 80%, I can go back at the tweet and look, but it was like 80% of the people said Carson Wentz. You had a handful of people that said
if
Max
people wanted
Grosmer.
to see that final, where would they go?
Correct. That's 3 Ron Johnson on Twitter. That's number 3 Ron Johnson on Twitter. But yeah, so they said Carson Wentz. Some people were saying like, why is this even a question? And I'm like, JJ McCarthy, it's his thought process. I think his physical ability is there. Like, people showed the last year Raiders game, right? The preseason Raiders game.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
Lights it up.
He looked great.
He did throw a pick in that game early, by the way. But he battled back.
That's the thing where nobody's going to talk about.
He battled back. Threw 2 scores.
Yeah. And
the confidence was there.
The athleticism was there. But then there's this whole like, well, I don't like his throwing motion. Let's change that. I don't like this. Let's change that. And for anybody that's played a sport where you have to throw a ball, pitching, softball, baseball, right, anything like that, even tennis, I've heard, like, if you change some stuff, it takes, or golf swings, if you change your golf swing, it takes, months for it to, like, feel normal again.
Yeah, I have to disagree with that because I change my golf swing all the time, and I still land in the mid-90s. So I don't know what everyone else is complaining about. I stay very consistent regardless of how I swing.
Rory McIlroy says otherwise.
Oh, okay, yes.
Bryson DeChambeau said that, when he became this hitter, it took time to figure it out and how to, but when you think about the throwing motion, right, it has to become natural. So like when people talk about natural reps, they say like thousands and thousands and thousands of reps before something becomes natural. So if you're changing your putter, if you're pitching differently, whatever it is, you got to be able to, because people talk about Paul Skeen's body type, like he's built like a pitcher. He's not built like a bodybuilder. And so, the weight on that arm, he has to change this. And then he's doing this and look at his warm up and talk about Dak Prescott, all of a sudden he's doing the hip thing, right? That was like a full off season of the hips and fixing the hips and all that stuff.
And, the hip, shooting out the hip.
Yeah, shooting out the hip because he had to fix the hip. But you know what? It's
Who
funny.
was better at that, Dak or Jameis Winston?
Jameis is just great.
And then a dark horse candidate would be Russell Wilson.
Yeah, no,
when
not
he does
Russell.
he does the shadow.
Oh, the hand, yeah.
During pregame warm-ups out on the field, he's doing the rollouts and the boots.
He's trying to get the mental.
Yeah.
But nobody
Mr.
can beat
Unlimited.
Jameis Winston in anything. He is a national treasure. I would take him in our locker room as the third quarterback. He's great. He's awesome. But when you look at fixing stuff, right? So you fix J.J. McCarthy, you think it's fixed, but it's still regression, right? There's going to be times where he regresses, times where he maybe should throw this way and he does this. Yeah. Finding a different arm angle, being able to kind of work the ball in there, different. He just doesn't have that. So when you hear that stuff, right? Slow process, slow thought process, all that stuff. That's where I think people are scared. It's like, why is it slow? And again, I'm going to go back to that. Like, I don't think he was fully prepared coming out of college. Like, I don't think he was given a pro-style offense that he could literally just fix stuff. Like Drake Lindsay, his freshman year, I remember asking the coaches, like, hey, is he going to be able to do what Turner and Max did, which is change the plays? No, not yet. This year, he is. This year, you're going to see shifts of motions. You're going to see Drake Lindsay come to the line of scrimmage and identify what he wants to see. If he needs to change the play, he'll look at the coach to make sure it's okay to change it.
Yeah.
Then they can change the play. They do have the headset now in college, so he can talk to his coach, or his coach can talk to him and give him a heads up, like, hey, here's the play, but watch for this safety. If the safety comes down, kill the play and do this.
Right.
They're giving Drake the ability to walk into an NFL locker room, whether it's next year or the year after that, to say he's pro ready, right? I don't think Michigan did that for him. And that's the problem. Somebody talked about like running backs.
We did know that before drafting.
We did know that, okay. Yeah. But you just hope that it wasn't all that, right? You hope that the mental is there. But when you look at college coaches and running backs, right, that's the big argument. If you run a running back 40 times a game in college, are you really helping him make it to the NFL? Or are you helping yourself win a national championship? And that's the thing, because you're beating him up in college. And that's why Glenn Mason was the smartest guy ever with Lawrence Maroney and Marion Barber, right? You could have easily gave Maroney 37 carries.
Yeah.
You could have easily gave Marion 37 carries. But why do that? I got Gary Russell. All right. You're going to split time with him. I got Tellus Redmond. You're going to split time with him. I got Marion Barber, Maroney. You guys are going to both do 1,000 yards, but you're not going to get 30 carries. You're going to get 15 to 20. And it worked. Both of them made it out of college. Both of them went to the NFL. Both of them made it to an NFL roster healthy. And I think that's kind of the key to this is when you think about J.J. McCarthy, he wasn't prepared. So him being in the locker room after 53, or what is that, Sunday, I think, right?
Yeah.
Sundays after. I could easily see, cutting to me seems dumb. And personally,
me too.
Right. But and I heard Dan Patrick this morning talk about the dollars, right? Like, it's not a lot of dollars. Like, it's $1.2 million or something. And then like 2027, it's whatever it is.
Yeah, 3 and change.
He got most of his money as a upfront signing bonus. So you're not losing much, a couple $100,000 as far as dead cap money. But why do it if you don't have to? Like, like if he could just be your third quarterback and he's your emergency guy that doesn't have to dress, then fine.
As long as he's okay with that, right?
As long as he's okay with that, right?
Because it's not much to get rid of him. It's not much to keep him. There's not a lot of risk.
True. If I were him, I would want to stay on a really good team with a really good coach and continue to learn, and maybe try to bet on myself versus like jumping ship now, being mad, going to an organization. But I will say, like, change of scenery sometimes helps. Look at Sam Darnold, right? Not saying that's going to be J.J. McCarthy's trajectory, but change of scenery does help. So I'm also a proponent of, if it's better for him mentally to get away from the toxicity of Twitter, of this crowd here in Minnesota, maybe that'll help him, right?
Well, he's not going to escape. I mean, he can move wherever.
Yeah, people always follow.
He'll still find him.
But I don't think the Jets people are bothering Sam Darnold anymore.
No.
Yeah.
But I think that he's on the team unless the worm turns. The worm turning would be him maybe not being happy with being QB3 or how this thing shakes out.
It becomes a locker room distraction.
But it still feels like, at least in the frame of 2026,
yep,
it would kind of be it feels like a self-destructive
path. But do you have
to
name a true, well, I guess you can't dress 3 quarterbacks. Because you could just keep both of them as 2A and 2B and just say, hey, look, we're going to trust that Kyler's going to be healthy all season.
Yeah.
Both of you are here. And then have them keep practicing through the season, whichever one looks better when it's time to go, if you have to do it. Because somebody also brought up the instance of, like, what if Kyler, the first 4 weeks, stinks up the joint, right? First 4 weeks of the season, they got Packers, Bears, Bucks. That's a juggernaut.
It's a nice little 3 to start the year.
Right. That's a juggernaut. So
3-0.
Yes, the Dolphins Saints are 2 easier games, but is Kyler going to make it to that, like, unscathed? Are we going to feel like 3-0 or 1? Like, what is like, what, in your opinion, what would be a successful, like, is it 1-2? Is it 2-1? Is 0-3 okay as long as Kyler has the stats and not a lot of interceptions?
I think you want to win 2 of those first 3.
Yeah.
And put yourself in a spot where you rattle off Saints and Dolphins and you find yourself.
Because 0-3, I think the pitchforks are coming out.
0-3, the pitchforks are coming out. I don't think they're making a change at that stage, though.
You never know.
No, you don't.
If he throws 7 interceptions?
Well, right. Yes, correct. Yes. Situationally.
Right.
If it's 0-3 and for the most part, offense looks good. But as a matter of fact, that defensive front that we're really pumped about doesn't work out. Or their communication issues on the back end, and number 22 is not in the mix.
And he's not answering the bat signal.
So how the games look.
True. Which is why fan line is going to be so fun the first 3 weeks. Like, I think that might be the most explosive fan lines of the year.
Well, it's going to be
good or bad, right? Like, if he blows, if he goes out there and Justin Jefferson has 200 yards against the Packers, like, I think everybody's gonna want
so pumped for week 1.
A Kyler Murray statue already downtown week 1.
That McKinney and Evan Williams no fly zone, Brett. Give me a break. Give me a break. Can't wait
Is Christian
for week
Watson playing? Is he even going to play?
Of course.
Yeah, well, 120 million he got?
Hey, that's a going rate for an average wide receiver these days.
Yeah, it is kind of. Wide receivers are getting paid, Ron. You played in the wrong era.
Wrong era.
Do you think JJ plays it all on Friday? Or should he? That's one thing. I want him to get as many reps as possible.
So
Same conversation with Caleb.
Yes, he does. If they plan on keeping him, I don't think Carson Wentz plays. I think they already know what they're going to do with Carson, right? There's no question he's on the roster, whether it is 2 or 3. Because
he's QB2.
He's going to take whatever. I would say McCarthy first half, Brosmer second half. That's probably how it should go. Because you know what you have in Carson.
Do you think Brosmer is going to be, and I don't want to rule him out. I think that'd be disrespectful to do that. However, Brosmer just strikes me as he's going to be a coach someday, and he's going to be really, really good at it.
Yeah.
I just, practice squad, I mean, that's a good living, and he's still going to be with the Vikings on said practice squad. Mm-hmm. I just wonder what his trajectory is long term.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a coach.
It could be Jake Browning, though. He could eventually, give him another year or two.
JJ could be Jake Browning.
He could be it too, right? Yeah.
Here?
I don't think either of them will have a girlfriend that wants to wear an all-white bodysuit and put a number on her back. But, other than that.
I think it's interesting. That's the first thing that came to mind for you.
That's everybody comes to mind with Jake Browning. She is the star of their, fandom. She is the reason why people even talked about him.
I've never seen
most of those games.
I've never seen it.
But, everybody else, it's modesty.
Modest.
Not in the Browning household. But you know what? I'm not gonna lie. It's social media though, right? You get the clicks, you get the money, you get the sponsors. People pay her to do that now. To grab their purse and show the purse off. And
with the bodysuit? With the bodysuit.
Because in the bottom it says, from what my daughter tells me, because I know about all these sweatshirts now. I'm not going to even name the companies because they're not paying us. But there's all these sweatshirt brands that are just giving gear or getting discount codes to girls to wear it to then repost it. And then in the bottom it says link in the bio, or you can actually click the picture and buy from right there. It's crazy. It's crazy what they're doing now with how they're trying to get girls to buy stuff by using girls that have a lot of followers, no talent, just 50 million followers, and it's oh, great. People follow you. You just stream your life. You do nothing. Do you want to wear our sweatshirt? And then tell them where to buy it. And it works. It's a great bit. Great bit.
Great bit indeed. We're out of time, but just 30, 45 seconds, whatever you got.
Man, with the Gophers. Yeah, no, I wish we should just keep going with the Gophers next segment.
You want to?
We could.
Okay. You want to do news 11:20ish, Brett?
Sure.
All right, party on. That's what we'll do. We're going to pause.
Can't short my Gophers.
One more quickie on maroon and gold, and then Dan Hayes on the Twins at the top of the hour. It's Nordo in for PA on the Fan.
You're listening to Nordo in for PA on the Fan.
With RJ, Ron Johnson, at 3 Ron Johnson. Let's run through this here over the next handful of minutes. I believe that it's 43 and a hook they're favored against Eastern Illinois a week from tomorrow. Are you hyped yet for Gophers season, sir?
Yeah, of course. The biggest reason is the receivers, right? So those that watch Fox 9, watch the Vikings game, the receivers, PJ Fleck, shout out to PJ Fleck, he was watching the pregame show. And, he texted that the players were at the game as well, that the team was there. And so I got a chance to connect with all the receivers, and we kind of hung out for a little bit in the area, downstairs, and talked to them about football and all stuff. Then they got to go meet Ben Lieber, and they got to go in the booth and meet PA. They got to meet a couple of Vikings, people just in passing as we were passing through. And so it was just cool to kind of listen to them, talk to them, hear them about the season. And so, just their excitement, their excitement with this offense, with the way the opportunities. I can't say too much, but I'll say this: it's definitely gonna have a different look to it, right? It's gonna Drake Lindsey going into this year is gonna have way more autonomy with the offense. I think you're gonna see a healthy group of running backs because it's not just Darius Taylor. You got AJ Turner, and then they brought in a couple younger guys, Ryan Estrada, out of Texas.
Oh, yeah, El Paso kid.
Yep. And then you also got TJ Thomas, who's getting a little run, as well, who they bought in, number 23. And so you got the running back side of this, right? Then you look at the young DB side of it. It's a lot of new bodies around there. But the biggest thing with the offense, just from what I've seen, is even with the offensive line, there's 6 to 7 guys that are going to impact this offensive line, they could play. I mean, you're going to have your 5 starters, but you're also going to have your packages or times or guys getting hurt where you got guys waiting in the wings to play. You know, PJ Fleck has done a great job where this is not people aren't here because of NIL, right? They get the money. They're going to get paid.
Yeah.
But they're here to grow and learn and become an adult, right? It's not about jumping ship. Now you're going to always have your stars that maybe jump because Ohio State or Northwestern offers them a little bit more money to come be an offensive tackle.
Northwestern?
Yeah, one guy left and went to Northwestern.
Wow.
But other than
bright
that,
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, you're going to have the guys that want to be here. So yes, I'm excited for it because I want to see, you know, you got Noah Jennings, you got Javon Tracy's back. He had a big game. And then the one guy that I really like, and I talked about him last year, Jalen Smith. And for the people that tried to tell me I was wrong.
Mankato West, though. Let's go.
During the bowl game, they were in cover 4. He ran a comeback. He ran it between 2 defenders. And Drake Lindsey almost threw an interception. So when I posted, I said, hey, he's young, freshman, he'll learn. You got to attack the DB's leverage, step on his toes, as Joker Phillips used to tell us, and then come back down to the sideline. Drake Lindsey is an easy completion in cover 4. People are like, you don't know the route. You don't know what he's done. I talked to Jalen at the Vikings game. I said, and he knows exactly what I'm talking about. I said in the bowl game when you ran a comeback into quarters in between the 2 defenders, almost got it picked off. You weren't supposed to do that. He's like, yeah, no. And they let me know about it when I got back to the sideline.
So you got the chance to talk with him, and the most important thing that you wanted to
clear up Twitter
was a situation that arose on X.
Yeah, because people were just trying to say, I don't know what I'm talking about because they just want to tweet dumb stuff.
Yeah.
And you're wrong. For everybody that thought they knew, you're wrong. Jalen Smith said he learned, and this is the thing, and I literally said this. I said as a rookie,
I love that.
He will learn. And he said, yup, I learned. And I watched him now, the way he attacks the DBs, the way he's stepping on their toes, the way he's getting in and out of his breaks. I think Isaac Frichte is, part of this though, right? His growth. But he is attacking leverage. He's attacking coverage. He's attacking the ball when it's in the air. Like he's only a sophomore. He looks so good on the field, right?
Super bright kid.
Super bright kid. Really good kid, and going into his junior season, I think he has, because the 5 for 5, he has 2 more years left. So I look at it as a sophomore, but whatever. But he has the 5 for 5 deal. So now he gets 2 more seasons after this. He has a chance to
Didn't Arby's used to have a 5 for 5 or something like that?
I think everybody did at one point.
All right,
5 foot long, and everybody.
I didn't have breakfast this morning, so.
So you're hungry.
I am.
But yeah, no, I'm excited about that. And again, Noah Jennings, coming to Minnesota, I think that's going to be a good, he's returning punts. He's going to be, in the receiving game. But you got Hayden Moore. I think a lot of people talking about him freshman out of Gainesville, Florida. He just has that youthful talent that when you see him, and I don't want to say Antonio Brown because he has such a dark cloud over him, but just because he's wearing the 84 sometimes, and I see his low to the ground run, kind of compact, but he's 6'1", right? But just how he gets in and out of his breaks, he drops his weight. It has that Antonio Brown kind of shoulder over knees over toes type of accordion type of he smashes into the ground, gives it force back, gets out of his breaks, comes back, attacks the ball.
He might be a Looney Tune, but if anybody turns out on the field like Antonio Brown, that's unbelievable.
The dark cloud around Antonio Brown.
I know.
I just get scared to say
it. But when the getting was good, that was
good.
HOF quality.
But he has I'm not saying he's him, because just like PJ Fleck said, Noah Jennings reminds him of Rashad Bateman, but it's the 13 that does it. It's the body type.
Yeah.
It's the way he runs. I'd say the same thing about Noah Jennings, about Hayden Moore. Just he looks good on the field. He's young though, and so that's the thing. He can grow with this group. I think the defense, a little bit older group of guys, but they're gonna do some cool things. Like Nestor, when you look at him right back there, he last year kind of had a breakout season and had a bunch of interceptions. At the end of the day, though, it's gonna come down to Anthony Smith in that rush. If you don't give the quarterback time, the DBs look really good. If you can't get to the quarterback, it's gonna be a long season, right? And it's not an easy season as you go down. The earlier, you got Mississippi State coming, but earlier, kind of a normal Big Ten early, let's go, get some wins under your belt. Hopefully very convincing wins where Darius Taylor is 10 carries and he's out the game. That's what you hope for against an Eastern Illinois, and not Darius Taylor has to run 30 times because it's a close game. But then when you walk into that Big Ten schedule, Washington and so on and so forth, that's the ones where I'm excited to see what this team can be. Cause athletically it's there. And I will say this, man, for people, this is not a homer take. like PJ Fleck's practices, like I was standing next to some NFL scouts that felt the same way. Like his practices are chaotic, but everybody's on the same page. Like everybody knows where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there. That's why I think people brought that up. Like, the least penalized team in the last whatever years, It's because he wants everybody in the right place at the right time and where you're supposed to be. And if you're not there, he will call you out. Hey, why are we not doing, like, you're not supposed to be on the field. Get off the field, blah, blah. Like, it's just chaos, but everybody has a place. Like, I mean, from the equipment manager to the Gatorade to the kicker to the holder to the people holding up the dummies. Everybody has a job to do. And if you don't have that script and you don't know where you're supposed to be, like, oh my goodness. And then seeing Mo Ibram and Isaac Frichte back on the sideline too, former players. I think that's another part of getting these young players excited to have younger guys around them that, have been there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for hanging out with me, man.
No, appreciate it.
And Abbott's here too. So during the break, we're going to figure out if he'll let us do Fan Line on Friday night.
I don't think so.
Just for the heck of it.
Instagram. Just check out we'll go live after the game.
Absolutely.
Do you know how to do that though? Brett can show you.
I'll figure it out.
I don't know if you know how to do that.
That's Ron Johnson at 3, Ron Johnson via X. And when we return, we'll switch to the baseball team. Needed one last night, didn't get it. Dan Hayes, who covers the team, joins me next.
It's Eric Nordquist in for Paul Allen on The Fan.
From the 1-800-ASK-GARY Traffic Center.
This report